The military universities that we have here in Canada are made to be challenging. They push you to be a better version of yourself, and they do that through the 4 pillars.
It's the military pillar, the academic pillar, physical fitness pillar, and then there's the bilingualism pillar. And in order to graduate here and get your commission, you need to be successful in all 4 of those pillars. On top of balancing your academics like a university would, you also have to balance those other ones. It'll always be a higher workload than any civilian university.
And that's something you need to be mentally prepared for, to undertake that sort of demand and the stress that comes with said demand.
A lot of stuff to try to manage all at once. And then you have to prioritize everything of figuring out, what do I have to do first? Do I have to get my academics done? Do I have to work on my second language? Do I have to go to the gym for a bit to work on my PT?
When you sign up to go to a regular university, you know you're going to be a university student, and that's all you're going to be. But I think at RMC, the main difference is that you're going to be an officer cadet at the military college. And so that entails a whole lot more. It's like a complete package.
I would say to prepare for a culture change, because there is that fundamental difference between being a civilian versus being a military personnel.
In your first year, things are a lot more strict and they're a lot more restrictive. One of the main parts of that being is your inspection standard is a lot more strict. That involves having strictly military blankets, military sheets being made in a military way. With this has to be perfectly 30 centimeters. This has to be perfectly 30 centimeters. This hospital corner here has to be a perfect 45-degree angle. Second, third, and fourth years, they don't really have to do this. This is just a first-year thing, kind of a bit of a test to make sure that you're right for the college, just a little bit.
You go from, I'm from high school, I have my family, to I have someone yelling at me to make my bed and everything for all day for an entire month.
It's a little scary at first, it's going to be, but you're not alone.
We start out in first year in small flights of around 18 to 20 people, and you really bond with those people. Like those are the people that you only see for the first 3 weeks of your time here, and those become like your family.
FYOP stands for First Year Orientation Program. You're put under extreme stress for a lengthy period of time. You're woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Inspections multiple times a day. Lots and lots of physical training. It's a very, very stressful time. One of the most obvious things that have come out of it for me was the building of resilience. You know, you've gone through such a very hard 5 weeks, and coming out of that, you know, you can say, oh, well, if I've got through FYOP, I can get through this.
It will test you. If you don't want to be here and you start to kind of question your choices a little bit, it is kind of putting you like at a few situations where you might quit.
It kind of ties back into the pillars, especially the military pillar. So for example, during duty hours, you must remain in uniform except for Fridays when we do have the opportunity to go to classes in civilian uniform. There's a lot of old traditions that we have here. One of them is skylarks, and essentially they're just pranks. And what that can be anything from, you know, covering the campus in your squadron's banner. That's a huge part of the school culture here, and it has been for decades.
For me, I feel that the biggest benefit is it's helping me to not just prepare me as an adult, but as a military officer, where we'll be in careers in a position where we're going to have to do a lot of that as well, of a lot of juggling and planning and management, and a lot of this is helping to prepare us for our future.
The accommodations quite similar to a traditional university, and they all have their own little differences between them. Right from the start, everyone who's been here for a while has told me that you get out what you put in. So, and I found that to be very, very true. I'm trying to get involved as much as I can. I'm looking at all the clubs you can do, hanging out with my friends as much as I can.
I feel like I'm like getting an education. I sit down in class and I'm able to interact with my peers and my teachers who really work to like push us and like make us think, because we're in such small rooms and we're with such small groups of people. We're able to work a lot harder to answer the same questions because you can't hide in the back because there's no back.
I was surprised on how supportive the staff and the teaching staff also are. There's tons and tons and tons of support programs here for you to succeed, because everyone here at the college wants you to succeed. No one wants to see you fail.
You can also talk to the Success Center, where we are currently, is the library, where the Success Center is located. And they help academically wise, they help military wise. It's quite literally the Success Center. The whole point of going to a military university is to be that well-rounded officer. It is to undertake stress and pressure and maintain standards that very well could seem out of reach at first. However, every single person that is here has the potential to achieve above and beyond those standards. Every single one. That is why they are here. They are here to learn, to develop, and to become well-functioning and high-functioning officers.
And so just because you don't really feel all that settled or you don't feel all that comfortable doesn't necessarily mean that you're in the wrong place or that you've made the wrong decision. Just give it some time.